Bonsoir tout le monde et bienvenue à cette 5e édition du défi Face Off du séminaire Sainte-Marie, le spectacle qui rayonne jusqu'à chez nos voisins américains. On va se le dire, c'est assez unique. 2 artistes travaillant sur des films et des séries américaines débarquent au séminaire pour guider les élèves pendant 4 jours. On ne vit que ça au SSM.
Les élèves de première à 4e secondaire rêvent déjà d'être en 5e secondaire pour vivre cette expérience hors du commun. D'ailleurs, c'est déjà ton tour l'année prochaine, Nicolas.
Eh oui, j'ai hâte. On s'imagine déjà quel thème on aura. Justement, parlant du thème, celui de l'an dernier nous racontait les histoires des patients de l'Institut psychiatrique d'Oswell. Nous avons eu droit à des maquillages incroyables et des histoires fantastiques. Cette année, préparez-vous à un univers particulier, car nous allons côtoyer les personnages de la troupe du Cirque Pandemonium. Les équipes sont composées de 4 à 6 personnes et chacune d'entre elles va vous présenter leur création, accompagnée d'une courte vidéo biographique de leur personnage.
Chaque équipe travaille sur le concept depuis environ 2 mois. Cependant, ils n'avaient pas le droit de commencer à travailler sur leur maquillage. Une fois les concepts établis, ils devaient faire de la recherche au niveau des couleurs, des textures et des styles pour donner le look voulu à leur personnage. À l'intérieur des équipes, une personne fut désignée pour porter le maquillage. On a dû faire des moules de leur visage pour avoir une réplique en plâtre sur laquelle ont été sculptées les prothèses. M. Duplessis a moulé les 8 personnes qui portent les maquillages ce soir.
C'est par contre depuis lundi que tout est devenu concret. Sous la supervision de 2 maquilleurs d'effets spéciaux américains venus spécialement pour eux, les équipes ont débuté l'étape de la création du personnage en sculptant les prothèses avec de l'argile pour ensuite les mouler et en faire des prothèses en silicone ou en latex. Ils ont aussi fabriqué le costume et les accessoires et pour terminer aujourd'hui avec l'application des prothèses sur le modèle et la peinture.
Cette année encore, l'enjeu est de taille. 3 finalistes se verront récompensés de bourses totalisant 1 000 $ offertes par Culture Shawinigan. La 3e place se méritera un montant de 200 $, la 2e 300 $ et l'équipe occupant la 1re place 500 $.
Accueillons maintenant l'instigateur de cette aventure, notre enseignant en art, M. Pierre Duplessis.
Merci beaucoup. Bonsoir. Content de vous voir ici. C'est un 4 jours extraordinaire qu'on vient de vivre une fois de plus. Merci d'encourager les élèves. Merci d'encourager la folie du séminaire, ma folie. C'est très apprécié. Le Cirque Pandemonium est là ce soir. C'est un univers assez particulier qu'on a créé. Comme vous avez entendu, ils ont eu 4 jours pour créer leur personnage, leur prothèse. C'était extraordinaire. C'était une belle semaine. C'était assez différent des autres années, je vous dirais. Je vais vous confier. On se confie, là. On est entre nous autres. Les années passées, il y a eu comme, tu sais, des larmes, les filles braillaient, puis de la chicane, tout ça. Cette année, j'ai dit, oh là là, ça va être quelque chose. Rien. C'était super tranquille, même trop tranquille. À un moment donné, on se disait, c'est louche. Et c'est tantôt que c'est arrivé. Tantôt, dans les derniers moments d'application, là, ça a été comme un peu la panique, comme à chaque année. Mais vous allez voir, c'est quelque chose. Et je suis très, très fier d'eux autres en passant. C'est des jeunes de 16-17 ans qui se donnent autant, qui sont heureux, qui arrivent avec le sourire à chaque matin. Ça vaut de l'or. Donc, vous allez voir, c'est un très beau spectacle qu'on vous a concocté. Cette année, j'ai encore une fois 2 artistes de Face Off qui sont venus m'accompagner dans cette tâche extraordinaire. Je vous les présente tout de suite. Eric Zapata et Jordan Patton. Hi, guys.
How's it going?
Hey, fine, and you?
Pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Eric, you're my veteran now.
Yeah.
4 years in a row.
This is the 4th one.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And then how was your experience this year?
the same as every year. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I mean, that's why I'm back for every year, I think. It's just a really great experience. I love it.
Good.
Yeah.
And you brought a new one?
I did.
Yeah.
I drove Jordan up here in the great white north to suffer through the winter weather.
Yep. Jordan, first time here in Shawinigan, Quebec, Canada.
Yeah, this is my first time out of the U.S. too.
Yep. Yeah. Premier voyage hors des États-Unis pour Jordan et c'est ici à Shawinigan. Yes. Il n'y a pas de quoi sans neige, je vous le dis. The amount of snow.
Oh, yeah, it's piled high.
Yep. Et la question que tout le monde se pose, a-t-il mangé de la poutine? Ooh.
Poutine, yeah.
Yeah.
We've had it every day.
Yes.
You've learned your lesson well. Good. Very good. So, how can you describe your 4 days with us, with my students?
It's been amazing. They've had insane energy the whole time. They've all been super respectful and have done an amazing job, and you'll see it here soon. But I didn't really know what to expect coming up here, but they really blew my mind.
Nice. Donc, Jordan est très... merci. Jordan est très impressionné par le travail que mes élèves ont accompli, très respectueux, très à leur affaire, comme leur prof. Écoutez, c'est des modèles extraordinaires. Donc, how did you approach your teaching with the students?
I just tried to bounce around and give everyone equal time and just really try to get involved with their ideas and try to help them figure out what it is that they wanted to achieve and really just try and let them do the most of the work because it's their project, it's their creature, their character, and I really want them to thrive with it and be happy with what they created.
C'est bon. Very good. Donc, Jordan s'est promené avec les élèves, a été comme un mentor, leur a donné des conseils sans trop intervenir dans leur travail. Les deux sont des artistes extraordinaires. Ils ont travaillé très, très fort, je vous le dis. It was a hard day today?
Today was definitely a hard day. Very fast-paced.
Yep. Donc, c'était une journée très, très intense. Et je pense qu'on est prêt à entrer dans le Cirque Pandemonium. Il va y avoir une introduction qui va vous expliquer un peu c'est quoi le concept de cette année, avec une histoire pour vous mettre dans le bain. Et ensuite, chaque maquillage va être introduit par une vidéo que les élèves ont fait eux-mêmes. Une vidéo qui va comme un petit peu expliquer l'histoire du personnage. Et ça va vous mettre aussi dans l'histoire et apprécier encore plus le maquillage ensuite. Donc, sans plus tarder, entrons dans le Cirque Pandemonium.
Printemps 1929, Calais, dans l'État du Maine, à la frontière canado-américaine. Un jeune artiste de 23 ans nommé Louis Cypher décide de réaliser son rêve et fonde le cirque Pandemonium en compagnie de Catherine Lennox, sa jeune épouse. Louis est un habile jongleur, tandis que Catherine est funambule. Rempli d'espoir et de créativité débordante, le jeune couple se met à sillonner les États à la recherche de talents, mais surtout de phénomènes de foire. La troupe s'agrandit, on y retrouve Édouard, l'homme le plus grand du monde, Vincenzo, l'incroyable lanceur de couteaux, Missy, la femme à barbe, César le devin qui défie le public avec ses prédictions et plusieurs autres artistes. La troupe arpente les coins de pays, s'arrête dans les plus grandes villes de l'époque, c'est-à-dire Chicago, Toronto, Montréal. C'est la folie. Le Cirque Pandemonium est un feu roulant de numéros tout aussi spectaculaires les uns que les autres. Le public en demande. Chaque soir, Louis jongle avec brio et Catherine fait frémir la foule avec son numéro de funambule à 40 pieds dans les airs. Le couple jubile. Ils sont les plus heureux du monde. En octobre 1929, 6 mois après l'ascension spectaculaire du cirque, le monde est frappé de plein fouet par la grande crise économique. Les gens perdent leur emploi et c'est l'hécatombe. Le cirque a beau être en ville, mais personne ne s'y présente plus. Louis est atterré. Il tente de toutes sortes les moyens d'attirer des gens, mais en vain. Catherine a une idée. Elle va tenter un numéro époustouflant qui attirera les foules. Elle intitule sa prestation « Le pas de la mort ». La nouvelle s'ébruite dans la ville d'Austin. Les gens trouvent coûte que coûte de l'argent pour assister à la représentation. Le soir venu, le chapiteau est plein à craquer. En coulisses, Catherine regarde Louis dans les yeux. Elle lui fait un grand sourire et traverse le rideau. Elle monte l'échelle qui l'amène au sommet, le plus haut du chapiteau, soit 60 pieds du sol. Elle tremble, mais elle pense à Louis, au cirque, au succès. Elle pose le premier pied sur la corde raide, mais celle-ci est trop molle. Sa cheville se tord et l'inévitable se produit. Catherine chute. Les spectateurs horrifiés se précipitent en criant hors du chapiteau. Louis se rue sur le corps inanimé de son épouse. Il la tient dans ses bras en hurlant de douleur. Dans la cohue, un homme s'avance près de Louis. Un grand chapeau de forme, une barbe noire, de longs ongles. Il dit qu'il peut ramener Catherine à une seule condition. Louis doit lui donner toutes les âmes de la troupe et toutes celles des futurs artistes qui y entreront. Aveuglé par le chagrin, Louis accepte le marché. Avec un de ses ongles, l'homme coupe le haut du pouce du jongleur et quitte les lieux. Le marché est conclu. Catherine ouvre les yeux, Louis la serre dans ses bras. Le cirque Pandemonium venait de changer à jamais. Depuis cette nuit tragique, tous ceux qui font partie de la troupe ne peuvent en sortir et ne mourront jamais. Le cirque Pandemonium est devenu un cirque de damnés et ce soir, il débarque ici, chez vous.
Betty Brown was born on May 2nd of 1904 in London. She came from one of the richest families in London. She lived easily with her two parents and her nanny. Betty was the only child in the family. Her father was a well-known doctor and her mother was one of the prettiest nurses. She was living in one of the most high-class neighborhoods of the city. Her parents loved to give their baby girl whatever she wanted. She was living a perfect life, even in those younger years. She was a natural beauty, and her smile was dazzling. Generous, brilliant, and well-educated, she was always the first of her class. She loved to live. She was Betty. In May 1929, when she was 25 years old, the young lady wanted to continue her study to be accepted at l'Université de Paris in medicine. Her parents always pushed their only child to follow their path. It was her chance because there wasn't a lot of women who were accepted in that program back then. However, her plan took a different turn really quickly. During her trip to Paris, a modeling agency approached her on the street and gave her an opportunity to become a model for them. Betty embodied the ideal beauty of her era. 5'10", blonde, curly hair, blue eyes, tall leg, healthy, and slim. She accepted the job and began her career as a model. It was during a fashion show in Paris that she met a man, Lucifer, who will change her life forever. Cipher, the owner of the Pandemonium Circus, was looking for a pretty girl to use as a target for his knife thrower, Charles Johnson. Cipher absolutely wanted a beautiful woman like Betty to become the target of Char. According to him, having a pretty woman as a target was a way to outdo him as a launcher, perform better, and keep the woman intact. Betty, still young and innocent, accepted his offer. Given that the circus had just started putting on professional show, the artists of the circus had practiced almost all summer. During that time, all the performers spent most of their day together. Charles and Betty fell madly in love. On August 6, 1929, the circus was giving its first show. Before going on stage, a conflict erupted between the two young lovers. The show did not unfold as expected. Still angry at Betty, Charles missed many of his shots and many knives entered the young woman. It started with a few cuts on her body and ended with a serious cut on the right side of her jaw. Betty was getting more and more disfigured show after show. Distracted, Charles lost more and more of his ability and skills by the many wounds on Betty's face and body. His motivation faded and he kept on missing his shot. The condition of Betty remained that way. She will never change or heal. When she realized what her new life will be, she decided to sign Mr. Cipher's contract. She had signed a pact with the devil and will never change. Ever.
Veuillez accueillir l'équipe composée de Thomas Légaré, Frédéric Garceau, Gabriel Sirois et portant le maquillage, Aglaé Chartrand.
Hello. Oh, Eric,
Yes.
your thoughts?
Yes. Love the backstory. It was very, very cool. And the entrance coming out to the accordion music, very awesome and like very theatrical. I love it a lot. Really want to point out first that they put so much effort into this backdrop, which is amazing. I don't think I've ever seen anyone roll out onto the stage. So I think that was a really big statement and kind of a change up from normal. So kudos to you guys for thinking of that, and you lady for thinking of it. I love this gory mouth. It's so cool and twisted. Yeah, I think it's really a grotesque, and also like a really traumatic story for this young girl. I don't know that any of the other stories that I heard are quite this sad. And you can kind of see it through her eyes too. She looks very very sad and just eternally upset. And the story was very upsetting too. So nice job coming up with a really depressing story, guys. I always appreciate that. Yeah, it's great. The prosthetic looks awesome on a technical level. I think it looks really good. The skin color is very, very accurate. I like that a lot. I like the veining. There's some really good detail on the lip right here that I think should be noted. Especially the people in the audience who can't really see, there's just these wrinkles on the lip that are really spectacular part of the sculpt, and they really stand out with the paint job as well, which I really appreciate. So, and these knives look really, really cool. Can you take your hand out, actually? Just show them just how that defies gravity, or at least seemingly is stuck in there pretty good. So, nice job with that. That's a really technically difficult thing to pull off, and these guys did a really great job doing it. So, yeah, I like it a lot. Great job, guys.
Good. Eric a apprécié beaucoup l'entrée spectaculaire avec le panneau. C'était la première fois dans Face Off qu'on avait une entrée extraordinaire comme ça avec la musique d'accordéon. C'était très, très bien. En même temps, ça donnait le ton un petit peu au niveau du côté un peu triste du personnage, l'histoire tragique qui a été racontée, et avec les couteaux qui sont plantés de manière très spectaculaire, et avec aussi la prothèse qui est très, très bien exécutée, avec les rebords qui sont très bien faits, le veinage fait en silicone. C'est un très bon travail. Jordan, wanna add something?
Yeah. Like Eric said, I love the board along with it. It helps tell the story, so you don't just have a makeup out here. You have the entire backdrop along with it, the knife even stuck in the board there. It's great. And I really like how you dispersed all of the wounds. So you've got something addressed in each area, so there's not really one focal point. You've got a lot to look at here. So that's also really interesting and well thought out. I do really love the outfit and how it's time period appropriate for the character, as well as the performance. When you were wheeled out, you looked very sad. These guys really put in a lot of work and time, and it really shows through. The lip where it is split there, how they carried it over, and it just gets bigger, and it splits back to where you can see the teeth is just fantastic. And where you guys decided to end all of your seams and those blending edges, it's really well thought out as to where they're going to hide, like along the edges of the nostrils, so you can't even see where that seam is. And all the veining and everything, it just really ties the character together. Good job, guys.
Jordan a fait remarquer aussi que les vêtements font partie aussi du personnage, aussi de la ligne du temps, des années 20, le costume très années folles et tout ça. Très, très beau travail de recherche. Bravo, bravo, bravo. Excellent. Bravo. Ah, là, c'est la logistique pour la sortie. Ça, c'est une autre affaire.
Here's the part you didn't think about, wheeling her out.
Bye. See ya.
My name is Aisha Burni. I was born in a slum in Panangat, a small town in India. As a child, I loved to play soccer with my brothers and sisters in the street in front of a small dirt house, surrounded by the smears of curry, sea salt, and smoke. The old metal sheet roof must have received about 50 soccer balls through the years. There were 13 of us. I was born fifth in the family. We were happy, and although we did not have much money, we managed with what we had. Now that I think about it, our parents had lots of debts. Maybe that's why everything happened the way it did that night. One peaceful night, while we were all asleep, I heard the beads on our curtain tinkle. I opened my eyes, and all of a sudden, I heard screams and cries. Adrenaline rushed through me, and without thinking, I leapt out of bed to go see. I caught a glimpse of a shadow crossing the room and abducting my siblings. I ran to help, but I got hit behind the head, and then nothing. When I woke up, a man was standing next to me. He spoke in a language I did not understand, English. I figured I was not in India anymore. America, maybe. I found out later I was in Canada. I remained silent before the man. When he noticed I did not react, he leaned in and whispered a few words in Hindi, telling me I was now his property. I didn't know exactly what he wanted from me, but he went on, saying he'd chosen me because I was the prettiest of my siblings. I didn't know then, but I had become his slave. I lived like this for a few months, maybe a year, as such a slave. He lived in a big stone house in a small village. He was a great snake collector, so I wouldn't be bored to death while I performed my chores. I would sing. After a few months cleaning their homes, the snakes started to get used to my presence. It was as though they were charmed by my singing. That lifestyle of misery changed on a rainy night of June. I decided that my life would not always be that of a slave. My escape had been planned for weeks, and I knew I couldn't afford to make a mistake. That night, at 2:30, I went to the bathroom. On my way, I grabbed my nail file to saw through the bars on the windows. I had to be quick because my soul was noisy. After a few minutes, I managed to stumble through the tiny bathroom window and onto the lawn. I was free. Without hesitating or thinking, I ran as fast as I could, towards anywhere, wherever I would be found. The violent rain and howling wind slowed me down. In the distance, I could make out what looked like a red and white striped tent. Without hesitating, I walked in. The empty space was lit by a single spot, set on a pile of suitcases in the corner. Some more suitcases and some strange accessories, bowling pins, scarves, and rolls of wool collars were thrown about the place. Not a living creature in sight, apart from myself. But as I rested my head on the cold dead ground, I noticed that one of such precious creatures that I'd named Amoda had followed me. The night was freezing, and I shivered as I fell asleep. Hours later, awakened by a weird itch throughout my body. I opened my eyes. I didn't know where Amoda was anymore, but a dozen tiny snakes were crawling under my skin. How had they gotten there, and why? All of a sudden, I felt a stinging pain in the corner of my right eye. I walked to the mirror in the corner and saw Amoda creeping out of my eye, pushing it out of its socket. It took me a few seconds to realize what was happening, but the pain was so excruciating that I fainted. Some time later, I woke up in a smaller room, an office in which two men were standing. The first spoke to me, but I didn't really understand. I was not comfortable with English at the time. I remained silent as he tried to explain in my mind what he wanted from me, and what I would get in exchange: food and water. He handed me a sheet of paper and a tiny needle. He wanted me to sign it with my blood. I was starving, and I had nothing to lose. It was that, or being a slave. That is when I became one of them. I started to perform in the circus for a moment.
Je vous présente l'équipe composée de Elisabeth Hayes, Émile Desbiens, Émile Lefebvre-Barry et portant le maquillage, Marie Lafontaine.
Jordan, want to go on?
Yeah. I'll step up first. How's it going, guys? So you guys didn't have an easy one. I don't feel like this is a difficult one to approach, but I think you guys did a really good job at it. First off, it's not easy for any skill level to attempt to change the ethnicity of someone, and I think you guys did a pretty good job at that, along with all of the jewelry and everything, all the different accents that you guys did, and the displacement of everything. I really like how you guys chose a specific snake and went with that pattern throughout the different pieces of the body. So I definitely commend you on that one. I love the attention to detail, the different snakes under the skin here. It looks like that snake is actually coming from underneath the skin, slithering around, so that's pretty cool. This is definitely my favorite part of the jewelry, connecting to the nose there. That is a really cool, right as I mention it. But yeah, I really like the execution. I think you guys did a pretty good job.
Ow!
Jordan a mentionné le défi que vous vous êtes donné de changer l'ethnicité de votre personnage, de le situer comme en Inde. C'était déjà quelque chose, un gros défi que vous vous étiez donné. Les différents patterns de serpents qui sont un peu partout, qui sont en dessous de la peau, qui ont l'air comme incrustés, qui ont l'air de sortir. Là aussi, le travail au niveau des bijoux, au niveau du personnage qui raconte l'histoire un peu indienne. On a tout ça devant nous. C'est vraiment spectaculaire. Très, très bien. Eric?
Yeah, so congratulations, guys. This came out really cool. I think that the biggest feat in this one is actually like Jordan said, that it's a racial change, and that's I think the first time anyone's ever done something quite like that, which I think is extremely noteworthy. To the extent that I think they went to the lengths to actually dye her hair a darker color, so her real hair had been dyed a darker color to fit the racial change a little bit more, which I think is probably the most drastic thing we've ever had done to the model herself. Pretty cool. I think that shows quite an extraordinary amount of dedication that you guys had. So again, bravo to you. Yeah, the really cool thing about your character is that culturally, it's a very rich character, and what I love about the culture in particular is all the jewelry. So I'm so happy that y'all kind of went to some great lengths to make sure she had some very ornate jewelry. Really fits it extremely well. Also, my favorite part of it is the detail in the scales, which they were very adamant about the entire time, and they were very particular about. I think they changed the scales like 3 times, and I think that was the way to do it. I think that I really appreciate when artists strive for the particular look that they're looking for. And in this competition, there's not a whole lot of time, so for them to keep going back and resculpt those scales and resculpt them until they were happy, I really, really do appreciate that big time. And can relate to it too. So I think the scales look awesome on stage too, which the lighting is the perfect amount. The painting on them looks great. You got some great dry brushing action on it to make them stand out. And of course, I have to note the awesome gore that you have too, to kind of juxtapose the beauty of the character. I really also appreciate that. You know, the horror movie fan in my heart. You got an eye popping out, which also is a snake eye, if you take note, where the snake is coming out as well. I just think it's really well done. All the elements you chose and fought for, I think were done extremely well. So bravo to you guys.
Yeah. À chaque année, on a des surprises à Face Off. Et à un moment donné, Marie est arrivée avec les cheveux de teint. Et je pense que ça nous a autant surpris que ses parents, qui ne le savaient pas. Ça a-tu choqué les parents?
Ben, moi, je sais pas si ça a choqué ses parents, mais...
Non, tout est beau? Excellent, merci. Donc, c'est ça, c'est des belles surprises. Sont revenus. Hey, teint, OK, good, excellent. C'est pour vous montrer à quel point ils sont impliqués, qu'ils veulent vraiment, sont crinqués, pas mal. Donc, c'est tout l'aspect des serpents ici. Là, j'espère que vous êtes capable d'apprécier toutes les écailles de serpents qui ont été faits. Et les gars n'ont pas mentionné ça, mais les tatous indiens. Comment on appelle ça? C'est quoi, là? Les annés, merci. Et que je suis inculte. Et c'est ça, les tatous et toutes les variations du serpent. Ils ont dû resculpter une couple de fois. Ça a été comme un travail d'équipe très, très intense, très insécure, les petits amis ici, mais ça a donné quelque chose d'extraordinaire. Je pense qu'on est en mesure de l'apprécier. Très beau travail. Bravo. Bravo, bravo.
Yeah.
Schmidt lived in Germany with his mother and his father during the 1920s. Francis' family was wealthy. Each member of the family was given a good education. Cool. In 1937, the family needed to move near a concentration camp, now directed by Francis' father. Franz was an easy child who wanted to behave like his father did, believing that he was always right. At 12 years old, he began by burning some soft toys for his own pleasure. After a few cremations, he started to burn live animals. He began to burn Jewish prisoners. As he did so, his eyes were bright and his face beaming. The flames were amazing. After the war was lost in 1945, Francis' father told him to flee from Europe, so he wouldn't suffer the consequences of his implication in the war. Stands to falsify a document bearing his new name, Johnny Henderson. The Atlantic crossing to Canada was successful. As soon as he arrived in Quebec, he discovered the city and tried to imagine a future life in that new country. A few days later, his attention was attracted to a poster on a lamppost. It mentioned that a circus was looking for a fire eater. Franz thought it was an opportunity for him. He went to Lévis to pass the audition. There he met the famous Louis Cipher, who owned that circus. Johnny joined the troupe by giving a drop of blood to confirm his admission to the circus. Johnny didn't realize the extent of the implication of the pact which would make him immortal. The young man began to practice spitting fire with his circus master, Cyril. Johnny loved his new artist life. It gave a new meaning to his life. He worked a lot to perfect his technique, and his effort proved profitable. He improved rapidly. Soon, the public preferred to attend his shows rather than those of his mentor. The pupil had surpassed the master, and Cyril became jealous. The master had begun to doubt Johnny's integrity. One night, Cyril saw Johnny's door half open. He decided to look at him, and he noticed a tattoo on his left shoulder. The tattoo represented a swastika. His jealousy turned into fury. He had seen members of his family die right in front of him because of the Nazi. A desire to avenge them boiled inside his heart. Cyril would prepare a plan to eliminate Johnny as soon as their next performance. The day of the show, while Johnny was on the stage, Cyril got out of the tent and opened a panel so the wind could blow inside. This action made the fire of Johnny's blow the opposite way. Johnny became horrible.
L'équipe composée de Stéphanie Millette, Mathieu Sanson, Chanel Pronovo, Giudita Del Sarto et portant le maquillage, Vincent Blais.
Il est hot. Oh. Non. Eric?
Yeah. All right. So this is a character after my own heart because this thing looks like Jason to me, and from Friday the 13th. So I'm just like so giddy about that. I think that that's amazing. I think he has a great silhouette. I think you have some really awesome things sculpturally happening here with the burns all over his face, the back of his head, everything. He looks like a really painful character, just like kind of red and purple and just bruised all over. He has not had a very happy time at this circus. And it's very, very obvious. I love it. I love the pain in the character. I love the aggression in the character. I guess as a guy, that kind of speaks to me in a weird way. But yeah, I love it all around. Again, great silhouette. I love this big hunched back he has. He just looks like he's going to just knock somebody down and walk through a wall. Definitely like it. So who did what? Who sculpted the face on this thing? Can someone tell me? You sculpted together, okay.
Me and Sean most, we paint.
You painted together?
I did the clay on his face.
You did the clay, some of the sculpture on the face. So knowing that you all kind of like had a hand in the sculpting and the painting, I think is extremely impressive, because a lot of the times when different artists kind of take turns on a piece, it's really obvious that there's like separate portions that were done by two different people. I think that here it feels like a cohesive character. It feels like one style, which is extremely noteworthy. I feel like that's a really difficult thing to do. Even personally, I've had to work with some people where like our styles kind of clash, or we're not really sure like where mine should stop and theirs should begin, that kind of thing. I don't feel like that happened here. I feel like it's very harmonious, as harmonious it can be on a really terrifying character like this. And yeah, I think you guys worked great as a team. Your art styles collided really well, and I think you should be really proud. He looks great. Nice. Yeah.
Souvent, quand on travaille, on est plusieurs sur une sculpture. Des fois, ça peut paraître quand c'est un qui a sculpté quelque chose et l'autre qui a autre chose. Là, c'est un beau travail d'équipe. On voit que c'est très cohérent. Il y a pas on ne voit pas les différences. En même temps, ça n'a pas bien été pour lui. C'est un beau maquillage de brûlure. Et on sent aussi en même temps avec la silhouette qui est imposant, dans le fond, il serait prêt à attaquer quelqu'un, mais on veut pas ça. Jordan, your thoughts?
Yeah,
Nice.
This guy is definitely extremely menacing, and one of the more menacing ones out of the groups. Just to see him walking out, stomping around, this is just kind of terrifying. One of the things that I'm most impressed with, actually, is these are two different materials, correct? The face as well as the cowl on there. You have latex and a silicone face. That alone is very impressive to me, because it is very hard to mesh the two together with paint job-wise, because you have the translucency of the silicone and the more opaqueness of the latex. So I think you guys did a really really good job of colliding those two together and really blending those back. You almost can't even tell that they're two separate materials there, so really good job on that one. Does he have a different color eye? He does. I love the sunken in eye here. It's a white dead eye, so that really adds to the character as well. And the boots there, that really adds to the character 100%. It'd be different if he came out in sandals or something. It wouldn't be quite as scary, a little more funny, especially if there were socks on there. But good job. And even the props to go along with the story, the fire eater. I do really like the ironic nature of the mouth here, because he is a fire breather, is he not? And his mouth is kind of fused together, so that's pretty funny right there. So he can't really perform his job anymore because he's done it so much. So I think you guys put a lot of thought into it, and I think it really shows through. Good job.
Ow! Oui, oui, il faut le mentionner. Merci, Steph. Quand on parlait tantôt que les élèves sont hyper impliqués, quand c'est venu le temps de mettre le casque, ils se sont rendus compte que les cheveux de Vincent étaient comme un petit peu trop comme longs, puis ça nuisait. Vincent a dit « rasez-moi ». Ils l'ont fait. Vincent s'est rasé pour l'occasion. Alors, belle petite coupe propre, c'est très impressionnant. Eh oui. Il t'en dessous, puis il fait « ouais, je le sais. » Donc, ce que Jordan soulevait comme point, c'est qu'on a deux matériaux très différents, le silicone en avant et du latex en arrière. Et c'est quand même assez difficile de faire comme oublier que ces deux matériaux différents, ils ont fait une super belle job de peinture pour que ce soit comme cohérent, que ce soit bien mélangé. Et en même temps, ce qui est ironique là-dedans, c'est que c'est un cracheur de feu, mais malheureusement, sa bouche est fondue, donc il ne peut plus pratiquer son métier. Donc, dans l'histoire aussi, c'est très, très bien écrit. Donc, une belle histoire, une belle job. Bravo les filles et garçons.
Our story began in Russia around the 30s in a village cut off from society. In that village lived a dysfunctional family. Unwanted by his father and his mother, Vladislav Glukovsky spent his childhood in fear because of his father's violence toward him. So he would most of the time hide in his closet. Often beat by his dad, he kept a psychological trauma which restrained him to isolate himself and to stay in his house. His mother attempted to cure his solitude by giving him a ventriloquist puppet, but it quickly became his only friend. However, in 1933, his mother could not bear his husband anymore, so she took her child and ran away with him. They escaped from their country to go to Hungary so she could envisage a better life for her son. After a year of social rehabilitation, Vladislav began to see other children. He even put his puppet aside, even if he still had an emotional refuge in it. A year passed, and he lived a normal life. He studied at the University of Corvinus in Budapest, and he hung out with his friend. But secretly, he continued to practice the ventriloquism. It was only in 1956 that his life changed forever. Like most of the students of his age, Vladislav went to protest in the street against the Soviet Union. The conflict resulted in a gunfight, and Vladislav got influenced by his friend to join the Hungarian Revolution militia. Being part of a civil war and remain yourself is a hard task. However, his mental change started when he saw one of his friends die after a building wall fell on him. That event changed him, and he became even more reserved and without any emotion. His psychological state got worse when Vladislav got disfigured by a grenade which was thrown to his group of demonstrators. Then he decided that after the Hungarian Revolution, he would start over his life in America. A few years later, he tried to make a living from his old ventriloquism talent in a circus, but people were disgusted by his wound. until the day when Louis Cypher offered him a job in his traveling circus, named Pandemonium. Vladislav signed a strange contract to join that circus. He found out a few years later from the other member of the circus that contract tied his soul to the circus and made him immortal. The fact that he will live for eternity with his messed up face and people will always be afraid of him totally destroy him. That revelation was the last thing he could handle before falling into madness. He attempted more than once to kill himself, but the malediction kept him alive. From that moment, he became a monster, and he decided to give them a reason to be really disgusted, so he cut off his face. Since he wears a mask to show that he will never be himself again.
Voici maintenant l'équipe composée de Isaac Gervais-Trudel, Elliott Mondou, Thomas Arnois, Justin Turgeon et portant le maquillage, Fabien Houry-Asselin.
New mask. You take this.
Hey, Jordan?
Okay, that was pretty intense. I was not expecting the smashing of the mask there in the reveal, so that was pretty awesome. So congratulations on that. This is a pretty grotesque, messed up makeup here, and the fact that you had that sick reveal. I mean, I don't know if they were expecting that. I mean, I wasn't expecting the smash, but fantastic job on that. I really like how you took the face. You took the face correctly and put it on the puppet there. So that used to be his face. Awesome. So it was kind of like a reversal there. That's some next level thinking there. It's a good job there. So how did you guys divide up the work on this?
Actually, Isaac and Fabien worked on the big part of the face. Me and Justin worked on the face of the puppet, and me and Elliott, who's not there today, worked on the mask and the several other masks that we test on it. So it's kind of the dividing of the work.
Awesome. You guys divided it up really well. One more thing I'd like to point out before I hand it over to Eric here is the muscle structure in the face there. You can tell that you guys were looking at your reference pictures and everything to really tie that in and get it right. So you can tell that you guys took your time with that. So congrats on that. It is pulled off really well.
Good. Les gars ont fait leur devoir au niveau de la structure, au niveau des muscles. Il y avait des références. Quand ils ont fait la sculpture, ils se sont attardés à toute la structure du visage. Et en même temps, c'est comme sa figure qui est devenue la face du petit... comment il s'appelle? Comment vous l'avez appelé?
Il y a beaucoup de noms. Il y a eu Jean-Robert, Jean-Hugues, mais tout le temps avec Jean, puis on changeait juste le dernier nom.
Ça y fait bien. Puis en plus, il est capable de parler. C'est un peu troublant. Il est dessus, oui. C'est assez troublant. Vous avez travaillé aussi sur plusieurs prototypes de masques pour être capable que ça fonctionne, pour que ça brise sur la scène. Vous avez tout travaillé. Dans le fond, Isaac et toi, vous avez travaillé là-dessus?
Non, en fait, c'est moi et Elliott. Puis Elliott n'est pas là aujourd'hui. Tandis que Isaac et Fabien, qui porte le costume, en fait, ont travaillé sur le morceau de visage, la grosse partie. Puis après, moi puis Justin, on a travaillé sur la poupée en général. Là. Faire que ses vêtements fit avec Fabien. Après, faire tout le visage. Puis on le voit peut-être pas beaucoup d'où vous êtes, là, mais en dessous, il y a des lésions interfaites pour qu'il soit vert, pour que ça soit plus perçant quand on le regarde.
Beaucoup d'attention aux détails, vraiment très, très bien. Eric, you want to...
Oh, yeah, I can't wait. All right, so, wow. You guys are pretty sick, and I really, really dig this a lot. That was a great entrance. Really awesome. I love just the theatrical nature of this character. I mean, like him being a ventriloquist already he's a man of the theater. He's a man of performing, and I feel like that is just like an extension of the character, like the idea that he would break this thing on his way out. He's pissed, and I like it. So I really want to point out that they made another mask, because I kept telling them to do this, to make another mask to show off, because it was broken so quickly. There's so much awesome attention to detail with this mask. It feels like a vintage mask, and I've been into many vintage stores looking for really creepy old masks, and this is definitely something you would find in there. It's almost uncanny. So there was some really incredible thought by these guys, like, you know, that it was an antique mask. They were very adamant about it being worn and like kind of warped and old, and God, it just looks so great. They even went out to get some wood varnish or wood stain to stain the plaster so it appeared more like an old wooden antique thing. Just fantastic, fantastic thinking. Story-wise, oh my God, so cool. Like the tragic nature of this character is just so intense, and I love it so much. Every aspect of his story, no part of his story is going untold when it comes to the character, I think, is what I'm trying to say. It's like every part of the story that you thought of that is essential to him is in this thing from head to toe. And I just think it's fantastic. Technically, it's a great piece. Lots of awesome muscle detail, like Jordan pointed out. I watched the team work over the week, and I really want to point out that these guys had such a harmonious work and energy to them. They were just like on it. I've never seen a team really just like jump on something and know exactly what they were doing. The thing that they explained to us on day one, it's standing right beside me, and I'm really proud of you guys. Awesome job. Yeah.
Très bonne remarque, Eric. Dans le fond, dès le début, vous aviez comme votre plan de match, vous n'avez jamais dévié. Vous avez toujours comme... Tout le monde avait sa tâche à faire, puis vous avez accouché de quelque chose d'assez unique. Votre concept a toujours été le même du début. Vous avez comme respecté le plan, puis vous avez fait quelque chose de très bien. Bravo, les gars. Good job.
I was born on a hot day of June 1911 in Boston. My parents named me Ruby Fisher. I was born from my mother's infidelity with a man who suffered from ectrodactyly. I unfortunately received those genes from my biological father, and I was born with the same illness as him. My mother told me that the nurses who were present during my birth were stunned in front of me. A baby who didn't have hands but claws similar to those of a lobster, and deformed feet that forces me to be in a wheelchair my whole life. My mother's husband knew that he wasn't my real father, and he instantly hated me for it. All my childhood, I was ridiculed and rejected by the other kids. My life at school was as chaotic as my life at home. I took refuge in alcohol. It made me forget all my problems. All my life, I tried to fit in by putting makeup on and styling my hair elegantly. But despite my efforts, I was still rejected. In 1929, my mother's husband heard about the Pandemonium Circus. He decided to send me over. So, at 18 years old, I was officially involved in the circus as a freak attraction. People from all around the world would come to see me as the lobster girl. Everything was going well for me at the circus. I made some friends, I stopped drinking, and I found a new desire to live. Then came Catherine Cypher's accident, and the contract Louis Cypher signed. Immortality did not suit all the artists of the circus, including me. I started drinking again. In April 1942, I was on a train to Chicago, but unfortunately, the train derailed and burst into flames. There were no survivors, apart from myself. I came out of the crash with a half-burned face and pieces of iron all over my body. According to the investigators, the train conductor had been murdered. However, the police officers did not find the identity of the killer. In all that chaos, I stayed quiet. I knew I was the one responsible for what happened. Indeed, during the journey, I was really drunk, and on a sudden impulse, I went to the driver's cubicle with my wheelchair. After a stupid argument with the train conductor, I attacked him with my claws. I squeezed his neck so hard that pieces of his skin stuck to my claws. After that accident, I went on with my life, like nothing had happened. Now, my only wish is to
Je vous demande d'accueillir l'équipe composée de Jade Frappier, Camille Raymond, Camille Crispin et portant le maquillage, Rosalie Boisclair.
Woo.
Yo.
Yo?
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
So, hey girls, all-girl team. This looks really, really awesome. I love it a lot. I love that she's in this really beautiful dress and that she herself is not quite so beautiful. I really love that look a lot. I really want to point out this hand that gives her the name Lobster Girl. Like, that just looks, I think medically this looks like the most accurate deformity in any of the characters, which I really, really appreciate. It just looks like something that you would see in a medical book of some kind of deformity. I think it just looks really kind of uncomfortable, but also really accurate. I love it a lot. It has a great silhouette to it. I love that you came out kind of hunched over, like, you know, just kind of walking up, just changed the silhouette entirely. Really, really cool. Love this cane thing. So cool. I don't know anyone who has one quite like that. Really well thought out in terms of like the finish on it. It seems very realistic. I really like technically the prosthetic. I think above a lot of them, this one has an extremely realistic blending to it in terms of where the piece ends and where her face begins. It's really convincing, and I think very, very well executed. So great sculpture as well. Yeah, just a really striking character overall. I really like it a lot. Love that her hair is done up really nice too. I feel like that's a really nice touch. Yeah, awesome job, girls. I'm gonna give it over to Jordan.
Woo! Good. Vous avez exploité le fait, justement, dans les cirques, ceux qui étaient des freaks, il y avait les gens qui étaient appelés les homards, les gens homards à cause des pinces. C'est vraiment extraordinaire, c'est très bien fait, c'est très réaliste. Aussi, la canne qui est vraiment... les détails, vous les voyez peut-être pas, mais il y a beaucoup de détails sur la canne, parce que le personnage, étant donné qu'il y a eu un accident de train, c'est un peu le look steampunk, avec les engrenages, et des engrenages aussi qui ont été... qui ont été comme assimilés par son bras. Beaucoup de détails à ce moment-là au niveau visuel. Je vais laisser la parole à Jordan pour le reste. Go.
All right, first off, two of my favorite things about this character is the way you displaced the deformities on it, where you have this disgusting lumpy leg here, as well as the lobster claw kind of mixed match, like this one's on the right side of her, this one's on the left side of her, and then you've got the burned face over here on the left. It was really well thought out how you guys placed those different things just to keep it balanced out throughout the whole character, so good job on that. The second thing that I like the most, Eric hit on it, is the gorgeous dress on this deformed woman here, along with the hair that you guys did on her. So really good job and well thought out there. The cane, I mean, what more can I say? Look at you got the springs, the gears, the way it's put together, the brace around the arm. It really looks like one of those braces that you would have for someone that's walking around like that. So fantastic job. The blending from the piece to her actual skin is probably better than I could do myself. I'm not so good with blending skin tones, but clearly you guys are. Yeah, it just where it gets the most burn back here, and this ear, how you have the skin just stretched over it. It really looks like what an ear would look like if it was burned off like that. So really good job there. And the skin blending, that's the main thing that I can't get over. As a whole, I think this character is very striking, and you guys did an insane job on it. Good job.
Dans toutes les difformités aussi, un peu le genre homme-éléphant, on a la balance aussi. Une autre difformité qui est à gauche par rapport à ce qui est à droite. Fait que ça fait que le personnage est balancé. Les filles y ont pensé. Ça, c'est au niveau visuel, c'est très, très fort. Puis, en même temps, ça a fait que la silhouette, quand elle est rentrée, c'était très, très efficace au niveau visuel. En même temps, vous avez très, très bien balancé le fait que c'est un maquillage, OK, en guillemets, beauté, qui se mélange très bien avec l'horreur qui s'est passée avec elle. En même temps, vous avez beaucoup d'attention sur les cheveux. Vous vouliez vraiment qu'elle soit comme belle, mais en même temps qu'il est arrivé quelque chose de tragique. Donc, overall, c'est un très, très beau travail. Bravo, les filles. Bravo.
Dear Dad, I don't understand what's happening to me. So many emotions in such a short period of time. I don't know if your death leave me indifferent, but something is sure, you ruined my life. Everything started with our car accident when you killed her. Without Mom, our life was not the same. You can imagine how the grief of my perfect childhood was hard for me. To fill in the void, I start ballet, like Mom has done before me. The more I progressed, the more I felt close to her and was distancing myself from you, hurtless person. Day by day, I would improve. I was wondering how far I could progress. It was not only the dream of my mother that I was following, I also create mine. Because you never wanted to hear from me, there is how your absence have affected my life. 2 years ago, the opportunity to perform in the Pandemonium Circus was offered to me. My first addiction was to become the best in ballet. I was unable to practice with the others because competition was all my thoughts. According to the disco side of the 70s, ballet didn't fit anymore in the circus. I did all the necessary sacrifice to find a balance between ballet and the troupe. I neglected classic ballet to give the circus more popularity by doing acrobatic choreography with animals. The circus became popular thanks to my innovative performance. Once in my elevation, I was very determined to push my limit through the top. Then I found it. Doctors explained they didn't understand how a body could survive to that accident. I stayed 3 months at the hospital. I was close to become crazy given that I couldn't practice my figures that were my reason to live. Day by day, the same words came back in my head and always took more place in my thoughts. 1. I climbed onto my elephant. 2. I got myself comfortable. 3. The animal made an abrupt gesture. 4. I dared my movement. 5. I felt myself falling. 6. I opened my eyes at the hospital. Again, and again. It's at this precise moment that I will fill you with me.
When I finally came back home, I abruptly tore off all the plaster casts that were covering my body in order to take up my dream again. I had underestimated the gravity of my wounds. My articulation was exposed, my ankle still delicate, my face terrified people at the point that I had to change it, and the worst was my spine. After many months of rehabilitation, the injuries on my body don't improve at all. I began slowly to figure out the connection between my healing and my pact with Lucifer. My suffering took so much space that its perfection was becoming impossible. I need to find a solution. The only option left was taking drugs, just like he did. I felt on a second addiction, drugs. Everything started with marijuana, then cocaine, heroin, amphetamine, speed, meth, mush, crack. I wanted to try them all to forget my injuries. Besides the psychological after effects caused by drugs, some lesions started to appear on my body. I did not care about my wounds. The only thing that mattered was bullets. Nothing was more important than my career, so I came back in this damn legend circle. It's strange, but when I began to realize that you would have been important for me once I lost you, I finally understand where my two addictions come from. One from you and the other came from Mom. Drugs got you, and it's slowly getting me. Your daughter, Marie-Jeanne.
Accueillons sur scène l'équipe composée de Marie-Michel Germain, Léonie Turner, Talia Koutso-Yanni et portant le maquillage, Karen Maurier.
Jordan?
All right, this one disturbs me on a personal level because I have back problems myself. I know Eric does too. We actually talked about this. And this spine here, if you'll turn around, just, it makes me hurt all over. I have to crack my back now.
I know.
Oh, that is just disgusting. And the way that it twists around, and I think this is the biggest prosthetic that was done this week.
Yeah, definitely.
So on that, great job there. You blended it down well, and it matches her skin really well. So really good job there. Another great thing that I like about this makeup is the beauty aspect of it, right in the center of all of this gore and disturbed nature here, with all of the staples that you've got here, all the different skins and everything. It just really plays off well with the beauty aspect meeting the gore aspect. So with that, I commend you. That is really cool looking. Another thing is all the veining that you've got. It really catches your eye everywhere. You didn't just focus on one spot. You really went ahead and addressed the whole character. So that is a very impressive thing there. But that back, it's going to always disturb me. So good job on that. You messed me up.
Dans le fond, là, c'est la plus grosse pièce qu'on avait de toute la classe, le dos, la pièce du dos, et vous avez réussi vraiment. C'était très bien, d'une manière extraordinaire à bien l'agencer avec le reste. Et en même temps, la paint job qui est vraiment belle. En même temps, c'est un personnage qui est un peu dégoûtant, mais en même temps, les filles ont essayé quand même de garder l'aspect beauté du personnage, malgré le fait que ça ne va pas très bien. Puis en même temps, les veines, c'est un très, très beau travail. Eric?
Yeah. Hi, ladies. How are you? Good. Yeah, you look great. Love the beauty makeup part of it as well. Like Jordan pointed out, I think that's extremely, extremely noteworthy, especially kind of lined up with the slew of monsters that we have tonight. That one stands out in particular because of the beauty. So fantastic job on that. Whose idea was that to do a beauty makeup with it? All of it? You all decided? Okay, awesome, awesome. I really think that's wonderful. Yeah, the legs, I think, aside from the back, which is definitely the cherry on top, the legs, I think, are particularly gross. They kind of remind me of like Henrietta from Evil Dead 2. I don't know if any of you know what I'm talking about, but there's a monster in Evil Dead 2 that's just this like gross, disgusting creature in a basement, and like those legs totally remind me of that character, and it's also a character that's always creeped me out. So I saw the legs taking shape first throughout today, and as soon as I applied one of these pieces, the rest of the team just jumped on them, and the veining and everything looks fantastic on them, so great job. Turn around one more time for the back, of course. We got to just show it off again. I think this was the first piece that was done, right? Y'all hopped on this day one, I think, and it was done day one, and really exciting to see that come together. Who sculpted the back?
4 hours.
4 hours?
Yep.
All right, stop bragging. That's fine. I don't think I've ever accomplished anything in 4 hours. Who sculpted the back? Really? Okay, so a team effort, tag team effort. Awesome. Again, great job just being a cohesive team and 2 artists working on one piece. Looks like, you know, that was not the case. Looks like one person did it, or even better, that it's just the real thing, that an artist didn't even touch it. It just looks like a really painful, gross disfigurement. Yeah, awesome. I think it's a wonderful character, and you guys worked amazing as a team, so you should be extremely proud of yourselves. Yeah.
Je voulais mentionner aussi le fait que les filles, vous avez fabriqué ça aussi pour permettre la petite figure de ballet. Vous avez mis du temps pour 10 secondes, mais vous avez mis beaucoup d'efforts, puis ça paye beaucoup parce que visuellement, c'est très bien fait. La silhouette, quand tu es entré, c'était très spectaculaire. Bravo. Bravo.
Back in 1977 in Liverpool, England, lived a normal family and their young daughter in her middle teenage years. Her name was Isabella Smith. During her childhood, Isabella never developed her autonomy. She never made her bed, never washed the dishes, never did her laundry or even the cleaning. Her parents had hired a domestic to perform these tasks. She never did anything, ever. She would always chill in her bedroom, listening to loud music. She never studied and never talked, too shy to express what she felt. Above everything, Isabella hated school. Even though she studied in a private school, she received bad marks and often got detention. Her parents were tired of her childish attitude, so they signed her up for a drama class. At the beginning, she would go there without any interest, but she learned to appreciate her classes. That's when it all changed. Her shyness had vanished. She even discovered herself a highly humoristic side that took all the place in her life. She always laughed and joked about everything. Isabella's parents were blessed to see her happy and blooming. At that age, Isabella always hung out with the same group of friends. They always hung out at the same place, an old abandoned and empty shed. Her parents didn't know any of them because they never came to their own. Her friends didn't go to the same school as she did. Drugs. That's when everything went from bad to worse. The day when Isabella started taking drugs, her parents couldn't recognize her anymore. Still, she kept on attending her drama classes, but wouldn't do anything else. She didn't study for her regular classes and didn't care about anything. Her parents had had enough of her idleness. She had become an adult. She should stand on her own 2 feet. On May 16th, they banned her from their lives. She found herself in the street with no home and no money. All her friends had left her. She was all by herself now. One night, while she was resting on a sidewalk, she had an idea. She wanted to put on a clown show that she would present in the streets of Liverpool to make a little money. She started slowly with 1 or 2 accessories in front of a few onlookers. With the money that she made, she bought a costume and food with what was left. Show after show, her audience would grow exponentially. She made more and more money, but never enough to buy her own home. Living in the streets wasn't easy. She got raped, beaten, and sexually assaulted. Due to her scarce relationships and weak emotional state, she couldn't find anyone to talk to. She then developed a fear as well as an intense hatred for humanity. Paranoia was slowly setting in. Isabella lost contact with the reality. She passed through critical stages. Mental blanks were frequent, and she was becoming dangerous for the others and for herself. She had hallucinations and talked to herself. She seemed to constantly be in conflict with someone or something in her head. She had named that evil side of herself Diabolo. During her crisis, she would inflict herself some terrible injuries, which a normal person wouldn't have endured. Diabolo wanted to take over her persona. Her clowny side overpowered her mind and transformed her physical appearance. That was the only thing she liked about herself. That was the reason why she tried to make her character a permanent part of herself. While she was walking in the streets at night, she came across a poster. Cirque Pandemonium had arrived in town. Tickets were on sale. She received a revelation. Soon, she would join the Pandemonium troupe. After seeing the first show of Cirque Pandemonium, Isabella was speechless. That circus was all she needed. She met the owner, Lucifer. He asked about her experience and her knowledge of circuses. Then, he asked her to show him a sample from her act. Mr. Cifer, without any doubts, hired her. They signed a contract. She became the circus buffoon. Her name would be Schizabella. But she felt there was something wrong with the contract. Why had he asked for a blood drop?
What's up? How you guys doing? You should be doing good. This looks awesome. I'm really, really proud of you guys. This is definitely a creepy, creepy lady. I love everything about this character from head to toe. It's just a stunning visual to see. Like, I think what removes it from most for me is just this breakup of white that you have around the character. The colors, the costumes are, I'm going to jump all over the place because it's just such a out. It's fine. Just to see like all the different variations, all the different patterns in her costume and the makeup itself, it's all just so busy and fun to look at. I really, really think it's fantastic. Trying to get my thoughts together because it's like kind of moving around, not used to that. Love the prop, it's lit up. I just think that that's a really striking image as well when it came out, and seeing the hammer lit up was pretty striking. Can you, there you go, love it. Love the bells, such a weird addition to it, but it works really, really well. I love, too, the story. I didn't really hear the entire story until just now, and knowing that she was kind of this troubled, delinquent youth that got into theater and learned how to like bring herself out on stage, I think that's a wonderful combination for just her character. Someone who's kind of troubled in the mind, but also loves to ham it up. That's the perfect storm for a clown. So I think that, I don't know if that was planned, I'm sure it was. I think it's a wonderful story and a wonderful character to emerge from it. Awesome job. I'm gonna let Jordan take over and step over here.
Nice. Le fait que, allô? Le fait que dans le personnage demeure tout le long, il est encore dans le personnage. Toute l'addition des grelots partout qui sont comme sortis de sa peau, avec les choses, toutes les cicatrices qui sont comme pensées, avec le même pattern que les bas. Ici, on est ici sur la poitrine, on a le pic, le cœur, et dans le cou, on a le trèfle. Ici, voilà. Beaucoup de détails, en même temps le costume. Arrête! En même temps, le costume qui a été fait de la tête aux pieds, c'est Jordan. Go.
I almost don't even know where to start because there are just so many prosthetics on this character from head to toe. It's all addressed. I know you've got 2 different prosthetics on the face. You've got the ears, the pointed ears. Those are awesome. The cuts on the legs, the bells and the arms. Go look that way. These hands even. These hands are great. Looks like something that would reach out from underneath the bed and grab your ankles at night. With that being said, with all the pieces that are on this, I'm curious to see who did what on this character, because there's just so much going on.
I did all the face.
I didn't do like the armor and one prosthetic on the left.
I did part of the same job. And the ears.
And the ears.
The ears are great. The ears aren't an easy thing to do. I honestly haven't even done ears before, so good job on that. They look fantastic. And you guys even addressed the costume. I saw you guys sewing on it throughout the week, so that in itself was impressive as well. So it really shows a wide range of skill sets that you guys have, and that's very impressive. So, I mean, I can't say enough good things about it. A very cool thing you guys did here on the leg is, so you've got this diamond pattern, and that goes really well with all of the fishnet. You've got these diamonds everywhere, and then you also have that carved into the leg. So I think that was very smart placement on your part. So good job there. I'm going to step away from this thing now. But you guys did an incredible job, and you're really killing this character with how you acted.
Dernière chose avant qu'elle nous quitte. Elle a, je ne sais pas si on est capable de voir, elle a un œil blanc et un œil noir. Ça aussi, c'est des détails comme ça qui font que... Là, c'est des détails comme ça qui font qu'elle a un côté sombre, un côté blanc, un côté noir. Tout est pensé dans le personnage. On la regarderait pendant des heures. Donc, avec le marteau... Jester, peux-tu montrer le... Oui, c'est ça. Peux-tu montrer le marteau? Vous avez même fait des patterns sur le dessus. Voilà. Donc, c'est un personnage très complet, qui raconte beaucoup de choses et qui est très fun à regarder. Bravo.
Accueillons maintenant la dernière équipe composée de Frédéric Hardy, Ariane Baudoin, Gabriel Denis, Athalie Imbeau, Jérémy Martin et portant le maquillage, Lydiane Lafont.
Jordan?
All right, this is definitely the strangest character of the bunch, in a good way. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like it before. One of the aspects of it that I really like is the kind of biomechanical aspect that you guys did to it. It kind of gives me a sense of nostalgia for the first mask that I actually ever made. Just kind of a biomechanical feel to it. So that's really cool to kind of bring that up in my mind. I really like what you guys did with the braided wire around the head. That looks really painful, and you can see as the head has just expanded, the wires still stayed tight, so it gives it that very disturbing tight knot around the head feel. So that's really cool. And the watch is actually removable, is it? From the eye? No? I remember you guys had mentioned that before, so I was curious if it was still able to do that or not, but the lighting and the fingers are definitely a strange aspect to it. They're longer and glowing, so that is a very creepy aspect to it. I give you 100 points on originality because I have never seen anything like this before, so that's really cool. I could go on and on about all the weird things that I'm seeing right now. I do really love the drip effect that you guys did down my head there. So that's really cool. I'm gonna turn this over to Eric here, but great job, guys. I love the heart in the box too. That's really cool. The lighting, all of it. You guys really addressed a head-to-toe character here, and definitely brought something original to the stage. So good job.
Jordan a souligné l'aspect biomécanique du personnage et le fait aussi que son cerveau, sa tête est en train d'enfler, mais que il a essayé de mettre des fils pour éviter que ça continue à grossir. C'est un personnage très étrange. Et en même temps, le costume, c'est le Ringmaster, en même temps, pour le cirque, qui se sert de ses pouvoirs, en même temps que les doigts comme des pouvoirs magiques pour ensorceler les gens. Avec les lumières, le pouvoir dans les doigts, c'est pas les lumières, c'est le pouvoir. Eric?
Yeah, so this is definitely weird as hell. I really, really dig that about it. A lot of different genres being mashed up here. You got like this like kind of magic fantasy aspect to the character. You have this like sci-fi kind of like technological based aspect to the character, and then you have somehow tied him into the rest of the story in terms of like the circus and stuff. So I think that's just a great feat of storytelling, and visually and both on paper that you guys were able to just tie all that stuff together somehow. I can't say that I would have ever been able to do that quite like you ladies did. So bravo to you. I love the really tragic aspect of the story that he's just trying to keep any part of his daughter's memory alive
to the point where he has her heart literally carried around in some incubator, keeping it alive. Very, very cool idea, and just very striking visually how you decided to tell that story on the character. Love that you used a ringmaster type costume with this character. That was something that I thought was missing from all the other ones. That I was like, wow, there's a circus theme and there's no ringmaster. And I didn't know until today when I saw your costume that is kind of what this character is. So love that y'all sprung for that. Very cool costume. Very nice idea to like extend the lapel of the jacket down to make it look more like a ringmaster coat. Very, very cool. Trying to think of anything else. It is just such a weird, striking character. I really do dig it a lot. I feel like it's just like has this kind of like 90s grunge drawing aspect to it too. I don't know if that resonates with anybody else, but I absolutely love that kind of stuff. So great job, Rose. I think you should be really proud. It's a really weird, striking character, and I dig it.
On me souvient aussi de l'aspect un peu science-fiction mélangé parce que dans le fond, le personnage, les personnages ont évolué d'époque en époque. Chaque personnage avait une décennie et on est rendu, c'était Ariane, c'est quoi l'année, vous autres? 2129, donc c'est vraiment un personnage de cirque futuriste avec le cœur enfermé, le cœur de sa fille. Lydiane, est-ce que tu peux te tourner s'il te plaît? On n'a pas vu le dos. Donc tout ça, ça s'en va dans le dos pour reprendre l'énergie, pour garder le cœur de sa fille en vie. C'est vraiment beaucoup de détails. C'est très audacieux comme personnage et vous l'avez très bien rendu. C'est un mélange de plein de styles, mais c'est très très bien réussi. Bravo. Yes?
Can I add one more thing?
Yep.
Sorry, I totally forgot. I just want to mention that they sculpted, molded, cast, painted, and applied the head in 2 days. So, like, they did not start this until much later, and I will be honest, I didn't think it was going to happen. I was like, whoa, they're molding on the end of the 3rd day, and they're casting that up. That was such an amazing feat. I think that, like, just the hard work you put into it, you really were determined to put a finished character up there, and that head was a part of it. Really, really happy that you fought for that and worked hard for it. It was a huge payoff. I just wanted to mention that.
Yes. Vous avez démoulé la tête aujourd'hui, ce matin. C'est un énorme moule fait en 2 parties. Ils ont fait ça de manière extraordinaire. Puis honnêtement, on ne pensait pas que vous auriez le temps de le faire. Vous avez travaillé d'arrache-pied. Ça donne des résultats extraordinaires. Bravo. Bravo. C'était avec ce personnage que se conclut notre Cirque Pandemonium. On va avoir la lourde tâche, Jordan, Eric et moi, de délibérer, de trouver les 3 finalistes qui vont se mériter des bourses. Je le rappelle pour vous, Culture Shawinigan qui offre une bourse totalisant 1 000 $. La première place se mérite 500 $, la deuxième 300 et la troisième 200. C'est quelque chose, c'est un bel enjeu. Et ce qu'on a décidé aussi, c'est quelque chose qu'on a fait l'année passée et qui était très apprécié. Durant l'entracte, pendant qu'on va délibérer, les personnages vont déambuler dans le lobby. Donc vous allez pouvoir prendre des photos, vous allez pouvoir les voir de plus près. Donc vous allez pouvoir fraterniser avec ce genre de choses. Et donc, on se revoit tout à l'heure. Bonne pause. Merci beaucoup, beaucoup.
Rebonsoir, on peut vous affirmer que tout le monde est fébrile à l'arrière. Les juges ont sélectionné 3 équipes qui seront les équipes gagnantes de Face Off SSM 2018.
Avant de procéder, une telle soirée n'aurait pas eu lieu sans l'apport important de partenaires qui valent la peine d'être soulignés. En premier lieu, merci à Culture Shawinigan qui offre 3 bourses totalisant 1 000 aux gagnants. Soulignons que l'SSM est très honoré d'avoir été invité à faire partie de la programmation du Festival de la BD et des univers givrés pour une 2e année.
Merci aussi à Élise Carrière de la compagnie Cial Canada qui a offert énormément de produits d'effets spéciaux, latex, peinture à silicone, ciment de moulage, etc. La succursale de Laval avec sa boutique Make-up FX Pro est le rendez-vous québécois pour tout ce qui concerne vos besoins en produits d'effets spéciaux et offre aussi des ateliers d'apprentissage d'effets spéciaux.
Merci aussi au mouvement des caisses Desjardins et à M. Pierre Giguère, député de Saint-Maurice, d'avoir cru une fois de plus au projet. Un immense merci à Porte Millette, Boucherie Nobert et Confiserie Zigazou pour votre soutien. Votre générosité pour votre communauté est extraordinaire et permet de réaliser de grandes choses.
Sans plus attendre, revoici Monsieur Pierre Duplessis, Jordan, Eric et tous les jeunes.
Thank you. Yeah.
Avez-vous apprécié? Il y a du travail là-dedans, mes amis. J'espère que vous avez apprécié de les voir de près. C'est toujours quelque chose de bien satisfaisant pour eux parce qu'il y a beaucoup de détails que des fois sur la scène, on ne voit pas. Mais quand on est de proche, on apprécie. C'est vraiment extraordinaire. Alors, mon Dieu, c'est vraiment c'est un bon moment. Mais aviez-vous quelque chose à dire avant? Je sais qu'on m'a dit non, annonce pas les gagnants tout de suite.
Oui, bien, Camille et Antoine voulaient faire un petit mot pour vous.
Oh! Est-ce qu'on m'a dit ça tout de suite?
En tant qu'élève en tant qu'élève de secondaire 5 et aussi en tant que présidente de l'école, j'ai pensé prendre l'initiative de souligner et de remercier en mon nom et celui de tous les élèves de secondaire 5 l'ambassadeur de ce beau projet, M. Duplessis. Comme plusieurs sont déjà au courant, M. Duplessis nous prépare et nous forme pour ce projet depuis secondaire 1. Pendant 5 ans, apprendre à manipuler le matériel comme l'argile, le plâtre, le latex, le silicone, les différents outils de sculpture, faire preuve d'originalité et surtout de créativité nous ont menés à vous offrir ce que vous avez vu ce soir.
Merci, M. Duplessis, pour tous ces apprentissages. Face Off, ce n'est pas que de l'art. C'est une expérience de vie. Apprendre à travailler en équipe, à gérer son stress, à écouter les idées des autres tout en donnant les nôtres, apprendre à dealer avec les caractères, les forces et les faiblesses de chacun, c'est tout ça que Face Off nous a apporté, c'est tout ça que vous nous avez apporté.
Merci de nous avoir permis de vivre cette expérience qui fut pour moi l'une des plus belles de mon passage au SSM et qui restera gravée dans ma mémoire longtemps. Merci aussi à tous les autres enseignants de l'école qui nous ont donné de leur temps en classe pour avancer notre projet.
Merci pour le soutien.
Pour les conseils.
Pour l'aide.
Pour le temps.
Pour l'écoute.
Merci au personnel et plus particulièrement à Mme Véronique Boutette pour toute l'aide apportée aux équipes cette semaine. C'est très apprécié.
Thank you, Eric and Jordan, for this week. It was amazing.
Yes.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, we had a blast.
Yeah. Pleasure's all ours.
Un énorme merci aussi à M. Duplessis. Et aussi, évidemment, merci SSM.
Donc, oui, on est rendu au moment magique. Hey. Là, tout le monde est comme, ah, mon Dieu. Eric.
Yes. What's up?
Tell me about your childhood, please. No.
I was like, where do I start?
Can you speak about the deliberation we had?
Yes, I can speak about it.
Yeah.
It was a very aggressive and very scary conversation. There were punches thrown. There's black eyes being hidden by makeup. I won't speak about who landed what punch. No, we actually, it seemed like we had all the same ideas. We went in, it wasn't very, very difficult. We all kind of had our eyes on some people, and yeah, I think that when we went in there, we all were kind of on the same page, which sometimes there's some deliberation, but really this time we just couldn't stop talking about the characters and the groups that we chose. We could just talk about them all night long. We could talk about the entire class, honestly. But the ones that we picked, yeah, I think we agreed on, and yeah, it was a short conversation. It was fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you. Oui, tantôt, vous avez, quand on nommait les équipes, il y avait comme, ils se nommaient genre 6 noms, puis il y avait juste 3 personnes sur la scène. Le monde, on fait comme, qu'est-ce qui se passe? C'est parce que le séminaire, cette année, accueille les joueurs des Cataractes de Shawinigan. On avait 6 joueurs dans la classe. Et ce soir, il y avait un match à Val-d'Or. Donc, les gars n'ont pas pu être avec nous autres ce soir. Fait qu'ils étaient bien déçus. Mais c'est pour ça qu'ils ont participé durant la semaine et on tenait quand même à les nommer parce qu'ils faisaient partie des équipes. Donc, c'est pour ça que vous avez comme... Ah, il y a des gens qui ont disparu. C'était les joueurs des Cataractes, je tenais à le dire. Voilà. Alors...
Drum roll.
Drum roll. Let the bell ring. Sans plus tarder, je vais annoncer la 3e place. C'est le personnage de la ballerine Karen Talia Marie-Michel et Léonie. 3e place. Jordan, can you tell why we pick this character?
Have you announced? Hello, speaking. All right.
The ballerina.
Oh, yeah. Well, one of the main things was the amount of work, the cohesiveness between all of the members of the group, and just how well it was all put together and thought out. And just in the end, it was a beautiful character. So I think we all agreed in the end, and it was a great job.
Good. Thank you. La 2e place va au personnage du ventriloque, équipe de Justin et Fabien, Thomas, Isaac, Elliot, voilà. Bravo. Eric, why we choose that character?
So many reasons. I felt like, this character, just from head to toe, from the beginning of the competition to now, it was just something that was fully realized. I think we were so impressed by the concept at the beginning, and again, this group works together like no other. They were just... These guys, they were such a great team, and that's like speaking from personal experience. The team is everything. That's the entire experience as an artist, is being able to work with other artists and make some really, really cool artwork. And I just saw that in these guys, and I'm really proud of them. I think we are all very proud of them. And they just had a really striking, awesome, horrific character. So yeah, it was an easy one.
Good job.
Yep.
Good
Smashing
job.
Performance.
Et sans plus tarder, l'équipe gagnante de Face Off 2018, le personnage du Jester ici. job. Bravo, bravo. On tient à souligner, gang, vous avez fait du travail extraordinaire. Vous avez travaillé. Vous êtes des artistes magnifiques. Vous êtes incroyables. Je remercie le séminaire Sainte-Marie de me permettre de faire des choses comme ça. C'est la seule école qu'on peut faire des choses comme ça, seulement au SSM. Je remercie aussi ma famille, ma blonde, Renaud, qui m'ont aidé ce soir backstage. Merci de m'endurer parce que je suis pas du monde durant ces moments-là. Puis je suis pas très présent, mais dans chaque année, ils sont extraordinaires. Ils accueillent les maquilleurs à la maison. C'est rendu mes amis. On passe la semaine ensemble. C'est des moments précieux, des moments magiques. Puis ils me permettent de vivre ça. Ça n'a pas de prix. Merci à vous autres. Merci d'être là chaque année. Merci à ceux qui nous aident, nos commanditaires. Vous voyez que c'est important. Fait à chaque année, on vous apprécie. Merci d'être là. Dernière question. Faut que j'ai pas le choix. Jordan.
About. I didn't understand the French part there, which was all of it.
No. Will you be back for next year Face Off?
If you invite me, yeah, I'll definitely
really?
be back. Yes,
Thank
this
you.
was
Thank you.
an awesome experience. Yes.
J'ai senti quelque chose, ça m'a fait, j'ai eu peur. And yes, Jordan said yes, but Eric?
I'm announcing my retirement.
Oh,
no, not at all. Of course I'll be back. Yes, of course. And
fifth year in a row.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's make it 5. That'll be good. I just want to say real quick that again, you guys should all be very thankful for Pierre. He's a wonderful soul, a wonderful artist, a wonderful man. I don't know. There's not a lot of things that happen like this around our world, and especially now in our country, things are looking kind of weird. So I was particularly looking forward to this year. I wanted to get out of that place and come to Canada. It's a wonderful second home to me, of wonderful people. Your students, you should be so excited about, so proud of. They're all so creative and just like the most humble and like well-behaved group I've ever encountered, and I think Jordan can agree.
Definitely agree.
Yeah, these guys are awesome. So one more round of applause.